Okay, now we're on the other side of Bella, and we're going to work on this leg, which also has a couple mats up here in her haunch area. There's a couple of spots on the doodles that will always get matted, and those are kind of friction spots. One is these haunches here. The other one is where the bend of the leg is here, and their armpits usually, because they're always moving back and forth, creating that friction. Under their ears, behind their ears, is a big spot there. And of course, their beards and chins, where they're always in the water and swimming and have their faces and everything. So, we're going to work on this, and I'm going to show you a different tool to help you if you do encounter some mats. Bella's in pretty good shape because Rebecca is religious about brushing her dogs. This is a mat breaker, and these essentially are little razor blades in a row. You want to make sure when you're using this tool there's a thumb hole, and put your thumb there and not up here, because if you slip you're going to cut yourself, and you don't want to do that. You want to always make sure that you've got these blades pointed away from the dog. You don't want to go in and rip where there's a mat. You want to work outward in a picking motion. You'll put it into the mat and pull just a little towards you and slowly work your way in towards that mat. And that you don't want to brush with it. It's only to help break mats apart. So we're getting a little bit out of that mat there. And once you've got it broken up a little bit, you can take your brush and go into that area and do your line brushing again. One direction and the other direction. You think you got that mat conquered? Take your metal comb, and if it glides through, you've got it. If it doesn't glide through, it needs some more work. Let's see, that's tight right there. Pull it back up so you can see your layer of skin. And take the brush, work in a line. Hang on, Bella, you're doing good, girl. There it is there. And we've got it out. And the comb glides right through that. Don't forget their tail. That's a whole nother ball game. You're going to start at the base of their tail and separate it in the middle. Brush one side all the way down. All the way down to the tip. Don't pull on their tails. They don't like it if you pull on them. Just hold it gently, and most of the time they'll be good for it. And the same thing with the other side. You brush that in layers. And if you encounter a mat, you can do the same thing with the mat breaker. Just want to make sure that you have the tail in your hand and the mat is below it. Come on, Bella. Stay still, sweetie. Good girl. Good girl. And you just work your little mat out like that. And the same thing applies when you're done. You can take your comb through it. If your comb won't go through it, go back and work on that some more. Your comb is your magic tool. It will do your checking for you. And there you have a beautiful tool.